Hello everyone. Having concluded the module 1, we believe you have gone through them and you are already working on your assignment to submit. This is day 2 and module 2 of our online teachers workshop. Online Teaching and Learning Workshop 2016, second day running. And the topic for today is basic principles and skills required for online teaching and learning. And our focus is going to be to identify the basic characteristics of an online teacher and the skills that qualifies them to be effective online teachers. So the first question is, how is online teaching different from classroom teaching? Online teachers rarely see their students. They communicate through their learning management system, LMS, using tools such as email, discussions, chat room, and assignment feedback. So you remember that in Module 1, we discussed the different tools that are used in LMS to disseminate knowledge. So we have mentioned all of this: email, discussion group, chat room, and assignments. So as a result, online teachers are required to use various approaches to connect to students, evaluate their academic progress, and respond effectively to their needs. Online teachers must be able to convey their ideas in writing and pay attention to the subtle nuances of written words. That is, when you are doing online teaching, you must be sensitive to the content that your students will be posting or the kind of language that your students will be using, so that you'll be able to moderate and put them in check. Apart from the general rules that is provided before they start using the platform, you also need to, because of the necessity for their excesses, you have to be vigilant to look at whatever it is that they are sending at any point in time, so that they will not go out of order. So teachers and students can work at any time in any place. We also mentioned that in Module 1. And students have access to their courses 24/7 or every day and all hours of the day. This flexibility is a plus, but also create extra requirement for both students and teachers. So students must have excellent time management skill, and teachers must be aware that many students are working class people and may have time-sensitive questions. So if they're having challenges, you must be available to assist them. You must be available to help them get the best out of the program. So online teachers need different strategies to make sure that each student participates in course activities, and the class creates an online community. So it's not just one-on-one teacher-student thing. It is a community of many people coming together, like the synergy that we mentioned in Module 1, coming together, collaborating to disseminate knowledge. I'm learning from you, you are learning from me. So this means not only teacher-to-student communication, but also student-to-student communication. So then the teacher is no longer the sage that provides all the knowledge. The students can also learn from one another. Effective online communication skills are therefore very essential. The second question is, who can teach online? Or to put it better, we say, who can be an online teacher? One of the first issues to be considered in determining the characteristics of an effective online teacher includes the ability to, one, have access to a computer and the internet, which we also mentioned in Module 1 yesterday, and be able to sit in front of your computer for at least an hour or two every day. Most online teachers put in many hours, many more hours. Somebody like me can sit on my computer working for as many as 8 to 12 hours a day. Then an online teacher must have the ability to interact with the students without seeing them in the classroom. So you have contact with them without necessarily seeing them physically. Then an online teacher must be very comfortable with the tools a system that we'll be using to teach online. Like we mentioned also in Module 1 yesterday, the learning management system, or the platform and the computer you are going to use, you must be very comfortable with this tool and the system, the software, and everything put together. You must be able to work around everything effectively. Then an online teacher must enjoy one-on-one interaction as opposed to lecturing or group presentation. You should enjoy what you are doing. If you do not enjoy working on the internet, working on the computer, you cannot be an effective online teacher. And you, as an online teacher, have a positive attitude toward distance education. You know, this is distance education per se. Your students are not here with you. They are not in the same room with you. They are in different parts of the world. So you are reaching them from the spot where you are, and they are communicating with you like that. So an online teacher must also have the ability to try new ideas and be creative. You should not be rigid. You should not be rigid. So there is no rule of the thumb about online teaching. Creativity and use of initiative is what is required. And then you must feel very comfortable with typing your thoughts and critiques. So when you are passing across your message, you know, most of the time it is by typing it, you know, either in the discussion forum, or typing it and send it as an email attachment, or mainstream. Then what skills does an online teacher need? There are three main areas of skills that an online teacher should possess. The first one is technical skill, the second one is facilitation skill, and the third one is managerial skill. Let me quickly draw our attention to the flow of this workshop. Yesterday was the most theoretical module that we're going to have, the introduction that we did yesterday to online teaching and learning. Today is going to be about 50% theoretical, and the rest of the module from module 3 to module 5 will be 75 to 85% practical. So we don't want to bore you with the theories of all these things that we're talking about. We want you to be able to do it the way we have learned how to do it. So we're going to go purely practical in some cases, where you have to try your hands on what we are talking about. It's not just coming and listening or going through the workshop without being able to apply what you have learned. So prepare your mind that most of the work we are going to be doing from now on will be practical oriented. So the first part, technical skill. Technical skill covers areas such as writing, typing, and word processing skill. So you must be conversant with Microsoft Office application, like the MS Word, MS Excel, MS PowerPoint. So that is the first. The era of PageMaker and WordPerfect are gone. So if you are not used to Microsoft Office application, it may be a great challenge. Then number 2 is electronic presentation skill. That's the use of PowerPoint in passing across your message, how you can do a presentation, an effective presentation. Then web navigation and search skill. For instance, in doing your research, you need to have specific search engines that you use, and how to navigate on the internet to find relevant information. Then file management skill is also there. File management skill, that is how you upload, how you download and save documents and files for reuse or transfer. Then computer related storage devices, you should understand the operations of disk, CDs, USB drive, zip disk, DVDs, and so on, how they work as storage devices where you save your information. And one important thing about this is that apart from the hard disk that you have on your computer, which can crash at any point in time, you should learn how to back up information using CDs, USB drive, and so on. The knowledge of your course management system, you see, we are always coming to this. We are always mentioning the knowledge of your course management system, or your content management system, or your learning management system. So you have to be proficient using the basic element of online courses. You must be very good at email messaging. You must be very good at uploading files as attachments to your email. Then you must also be good at threaded discussions in discussion forums and chats. Then test and quiz functions, ability to produce basic CBT for your students. After teaching a particular topic, they have a few questions to practice on based on the topic you have just taught them. And then you have what we call electronic gradebook. So you must also be conversant with the kind of software that do automatic grading. Then facilitation skill is the second type of skill that is required for an online teacher. Number one, engaging the student in the learning process is very important, particularly at the beginning. So, how do you start? What is your introduction like to be able to attract the student and sustain their interest? Then, the second one is appropriate questioning, listening, and feedback skill. What kind of questions do you pose to them? And how do they react to the question? So what kind of feedback do you get from them? And like I said earlier, in order to sustain their interest. And then you need the skill of the ability to provide direction and support. So you should be able to give a clear instruction which your students will understand clearly, knowing what you expect them to do, applying it, and getting the desired result. Then you also need the skill in managing online discussions, because when you are in the chat room or you are in a discussion forum, you must be, like I said before, vigilant to look at whatever is being posted, so that you will be on hand to remove what is not necessary, correct what is needful, so that what you want, the results you want, is what you get from your students. It is very possible in a discussion forum that one of your participants can lead the others astray if you are not really vigilant. So you are supposed to be on ground to moderate and manage the online discussion, to put everybody in line. Then you must also possess the ability to build online teams. So as time goes on, we'll be talking more about building online team when we talk about grouping on our platform. Ability to promote active learning. Yes, you should be able to promote active learning in a positive direction, learning that can be applied, learning that is applicable to real life situations. And then you should also be able to accommodate students with different learning style, because they are coming from different cultures, different backgrounds, and you will not expect them to learn at the same rate and use the same learning style. So you should be able to accommodate their learning style and harmonize everything together by being very proactive in designing a kind of activity that is universal. I also mentioned that in Module 1 yesterday. Then you should have a capacity for relationship building. And finally, a motivational skill. Your students should be able to trust you. Your students should be able to rely on you to provide them the correct answer. Your students should be able to trust you and rely on you to be able to solve their problems or provide solutions to whatever challenges that they are facing. That is why you are there for them, to guide them through. When they need you, you should be available for them. Then managerial skill is the third part. Knowing how to manage collaborative groups is very important. When you gather people together, people that are gathered together that you cannot see, and being able to manage them is very important. And then you should have excellent time management. This is to say that there is no African time in online teaching. If you must be an effective online tutor, you must be a disciplined time manager. If you are supposed to be online at 12 o'clock, you should have signed in at least 15 minutes to 12 so that you'll be there waiting. It is not a good thing for, just like in the normal regular school, where it is believed that lateness is an act of indiscipline on the part of any teacher or manager. So lateness is also an act of indiscipline for any online teacher. For you to be an effective online teacher, you must be time conscious. You must be punctual. So you are supposed to be the one to wait for your student and not your student waiting for you. The first post on any subject or the first post on any discussion forum is supposed to be done by you. And then the participants will now join you up in responding to whatever it is that you have posted. So it will be a bad thing if your participant or your student are already posting and waiting for response and you are not available, only for you to come 10, 15, 20 minutes later with an apology. So managing course material to be presented for different learning styles, yes, that's another thing. You should know, okay, the course material that you are going to provide for them, is it going to be posted directly to them on the forum for them to read? Is it going to be played as a slide presentation to them? Or is it going to be an attachment that will be sent to their mail? Or is it going to be an attachment that will be on the forum for them to download? So these are some of the things that you need to know and understand and decide which one will be more appropriate in every situation. So you manage your course materials to be presented for different learning styles. What you use today might not be what you are going to use tomorrow. And what is used for this topic might not be the same thing that will be required for another topic. Then you should also learn how to manage online student disputes. This just like in a normal classroom situation where you have many students together and they're having issues. You should know how to moderate. You should know how to manage them. The same thing happens online. When somebody is coming up with an idea that is completely different from the line of thought of others, and then some of the other participants or students get irritated and they want to get at the person that is doing that. So it is your duty to manage every one of them, moderate immediately to solve certain such issues before they get out of hand and derail the process. Then being able to coordinate and involve students in activity is another key skill that is required for an online teacher. So coordinating and involving students in activity. Like we said in Module 1 yesterday, that what the students are involved in when we're talking about the learning theories, what they are involved in, they will remember better, because if they plan an activity and they present it to others, in the process of presenting it to others, they will retain the knowledge better. They can remember it better because they were actively involved in it. So that is the kind of strategy that is required. Then knowing institutional procedures and policy for implementing an online course is another thing. So, okay, in Penwright Academy, for instance, what are our procedures and policy for implementing an online course? What are you supposed to do? For instance, if you are to teach a topic in Penwright Academy, the rule or our policy is that your post or your content is supposed to have reached us at least 24 hours before the date of the course or before presentation. The essence of this is for us to be able to look at what your content is, modify it where necessary before it is posted on our platform. So the moment it is posted, then it becomes public for your students to see and then begin to use. So if we do not have it like 24 hours before, it means that particular subject or that particular course will not go online. We will not be able to put it online. So that is what we are trying to say here. You must know the institutional procedures and policy for implementing an online course, and you follow it strictly. Then the last one here is knowledge of basic legal issues such as digital copywriting and online environment. So this is key because of what we call plagiarism and content ownership and copyright issues. You must know the implications of using other people's intellectual materials, copying from different sites, without acknowledgement, without without permission, and you must also know the procedure to seek permission and approval to use somebody else's work. And if not, you are going to run yourself into a very big legal battle unknowingly. Then what are some of the problems online teachers may encounter? Some teachers decide that the online environment is not for them. It is their choice. And their reason may include that online teaching is not what they expected or not what they are interested in. Some people don't just like the issue of computer, internet, and all of that. Some people are so averse to the internet because they believe that everything about the internet is negative, negative, negative. The workload in an online class is too demanding for them, and or they lack the time management skill needed for online teaching. Some people don't even have the discipline for online teaching and learning. Some believe that it is too demanding for them, that no, I can't sit on the computer for several hours. Some people don't even have that patience to do it. So it is their nature. You can't blame them. Then it might be that they are overwhelmed by technical problems with their computer or internet connection. Maybe from past experiences, they have had serious technical problems with their computer or internet connectivity, especially here in Nigeria, where internet connectivity is, is not so smooth. And some also, it could be the cost of internet provider, internet service provider, or data use and all of that. So that might discourage some people. Or some are not encouraged to teach online by their superiors, colleagues, or family. Because, like I said before, some people believe that when you are talking about internet, it is all pornography, it is all negative things, it is, and so on. So parents might discourage some people from actually engaging in online endeavors. Students might be discouraged from even taking online courses because of all this thing, because they believe they won't be able to monitor them enough, and they will be exposed to different vices. Then others believe that it is too difficult or time consuming to keep up with the technology, because the world of technology is so dynamic. It changes so fast that it's very difficult to catch up with it. Take for instance, new softwares are coming out every month, every week. New devices are coming up every week, every month, and we have to keep moving. And whatever device that we have today, in another 1 or 2 years, you will discover that there are better ones in the market. So you need to discard some of them, even if they are still functioning, and go for the latest one in order to accommodate some of the other new features that may come with them, which will enhance your own productivity. So then the compensation is not enough for the time and effort it takes to facilitate an online course. And that's why some people are not going into it. They believe that, well, the money they make from online courses is little compared to the time and effort that they put in. So it is not encouraging to them. Another question is teaching online more work than teaching in the classroom? Online teaching may take more time than traditional classroom instruction. Some of the reasons include providing student feedback can be an open-ended task. It is a 24/7 learning environment, and keeping up with technology and technical problems require time and effort and can become very frustrating. Teachers may need to learn new strategies to make their workload. They may need to learn new things in order to be efficient and effective in the dissemination of knowledge. So burnout may be a concern because of the extra workload. And consider carefully how much time you have to invest before you decide to be an online teacher. So if you cannot decide how many hours you want to allocate to your online teaching on a daily basis or on a weekly basis, don't even go near it, because it requires your attention. You will be a very bad online teacher if your students are sending questions expecting your response and they are not getting it. Take for instance, you have given your student an assignment and they are in the process of getting the assignment done and they get stuck. They need to get in touch with you to find out how you can help them get through their challenges. And it becomes very, very frustrating when they have tried for hours and they couldn't reach you. They have posted, sent email to you, no response. They have beeped you, there is no response, and so on. So they become discouraged. What are the prerequisites, technology skill for online teachers? There are so many, so many, that we won't be able to take them one by one. I will just list them, and then thereafter I'll tell you what to do with them. So word processing skill, like I mentioned before, Microsoft Word application is what they are talking about, and other applications like it where you can type words. Plain paragraph typing is what we are talking about here. The number 2 is spreadsheet skills, like Microsoft Excel and any other software like it. I'm using Microsoft because it is what is most widely used and most popular. Database skills is also very important. That is, if you want to go into the advanced skill of website management and database management. Then the electronic presentation skill, yes, we have mentioned that, your Microsoft PowerPoint presentation and all of that. Then web navigation skill, yes, in doing your research on the internet, you need to go through the search engines that you are going to use that will help you get the required information to prepare what you are going to present to your students. So website design skill, yeah, that is also key if you are interested in it. To design a website, a website that is designed by you and managed by you is easier than one designed by someone else that every time you want to put content on it, you need to start calling your engineer. But if you are the one that designed your website, if you learn the skill to design and manage a website, it is easier for you. You don't have to wait for anyone before you put relevant content on the website. Email management skill, yeah, that is also important. Then digital cameras, yes, the use of digital cameras. Some of us cannot even take a very good shot with a camera. But now in the age of different mobile phones, people are already getting used to the skill of digital camera management, because every phone now has a digital camera that can do the job of a professional. Then computer network knowledge, which is applicable to the school system. Networking, wireless networking, and cable networking. These are other skills that, if you are interested in it, you can go for them. Then file management and Windows Explorer skills. Saving and retrieving information. Storing and retrieving information. Downloading, uploading information. That is what file management and Windows Explorer skills are all about. Then downloading software from the web. Yes, this is another skill that is required, because as you go on, you may need some software to enhance your functionality, and you must learn how to download software without affecting your computer, without crashing your computer. Downloading software from the web and installing them. So installing computer software into your system is a skill that you need, because at one time or the other you will need a software to assist, to help you function better in whatever it is that you are doing. Then WebCT or Blackboard teaching skill, yeah, that is the use of interactive whiteboard. the skill to use interactive whiteboard is important if you can learn it. Then video conferencing skill, yes, video conferencing, where we see ourselves. When we're talking about video conferencing skill, just remember something like Skype messaging, Uvu, and then I think WhatsApp also has video conferencing messaging features now. So those are the things we are referring to when we say video conferencing skill. That is a communication whereby you see me, I see you, so I can hear you talk. You can show me things live online. That's video conferencing skill. Then computer-related storage devices. That is disk, CD, USB drive. I mentioned that in Module 1 yesterday, so I'm sure that we understand what computer-related storage devices mean. The skill to use them. For instance, at a particular point in time, you must back up the content of your document, the content of your hard disk on a CD or a USB drive, external disk, so that in case anything happens to your hard drive or anything happens to your computer, you can transfer your content back without losing anything. So periodic and regular backups, the skill to do that is very important. Then scanner knowledge. For you to be an effective online teacher, you need the knowledge of a scanner. Scanning pictures, scanning documents, scanning images, for use. Because sometimes what you need to use, you may not be able to find it directly on the internet, especially when it comes to local culture and local content. So some of these things may be real pictures that you have to scan and save. When you scan and save it, you'll be able to use it to actually pass across the information you need to pass across. Then another thing about scanner is you may have documents that you need to use that are not available everywhere. And if you have such documents, it will be very easy for you to scan them into editable format, what we call OCR. So when you scan them into editable format, you don't have to retype them again. If you have to retype about 50 pages, you know how many hours it will take you to retype 50 pages that you need to teach a particular course in about 2 or 3 days time. So when you get the document and you have the knowledge of scanning machine, then you scan them for editable format and you'll be able to edit them immediately as an MS Word document, which will be easy for you. It becomes it becomes a soft copy. So you convert from a hard copy document to a soft copy using scanner for editable for editable format. Then knowledge of PDAs, deep web knowledge, educational copyright knowledge, computer security knowledge. Okay, I have mentioned 17, 18, 19. I've dealt with that in my previous discussion. Let me talk about computer security knowledge. The use of antivirus on your computer is very important because as you are downloading and uploading, you can infect your system with viruses and then it will destroy the system, it will crash the system. So you need the knowledge of security of your computer to be able to manage it better so that you don't lose very vital information on your system unknowingly. So knowledge of antivirus on your computer, malware, defenders, and so on and so forth. And also how to manage your computer for it to last for you. Certain do's and don'ts, the things you don't do with your computer so that you don't crash them. So like you are working on your computer and you have water or food items beside you. In case you spill water on your keyboard on the computer, there is every probability that in a few days or few weeks time, some of the buttons on that keyboard will no longer work, and it becomes a problem. And by the time you begin to change this, change that, it becomes an endless technical problem that you have to battle with. So such things, such knowledge and skill you need. So what you need to do, how to maintain your computer, how to use it for the best functionality is a skill that you need to acquire. Because as an online teacher, You don't have to buy 3 or 4 computers in the house to become an online teacher. If you manage the only one you have very well, it will serve the purpose for you. So, research into the various technological skills listed below by visiting the link provided so that you can acquire more knowledge. We cannot go through all of them one by one, but for what we have done is, for each skill, we have given you as many links as possible that you can visit. If there is any of these skills, 20 of them, 20 skills, if there is any of these 20 skills that you want to acquire, or you want to learn more about, or you want to research into, we have provided you with, as many as many web links as possible that you can visit on your own. And this is also part of your preparation to become an online teacher. You need to learn how to do research. You need to learn how to go to the internet to acquire prerequisite knowledge that can be useful to you in any way. Most of the things that we are doing today in Playwright Academy was as a result of, divine inspiration and research. There are days I will just sit on my computer and be, going from one website to another, trying to find a solution to a particular challenge. And until I get it, I will not stop. I will visit hundreds of websites until I get what I want. So there is nothing you need today that you cannot find on the web. Very few things will you need today and say they are not available on the web. If you go on the web and you know how to navigate properly, you will find something. You will find something related to what you need. And if it is not available on the spot, there are places where you can go, talk about it, and developers and engineers will work on it and get you a solution in a matter of days. So this is number 1, word processing skill, sites you can visit to get more information. This is spreadsheet skill, sites you can visit to get more information. Database skill, sites you can visit to get more information. Electronic presentation skill, several sites you can visit to get more information. World Wide Web, that's www navigation skill, where you can get more information. Website design skill, sites you can visit to get more information. Email management skill, these are sites you can visit to advance your knowledge about the use. The digital camera knowledge, yes, these are sites that are related to that which you can visit and equip yourself with more knowledge about digital camera. The network knowledge applicable to your organization, yes, you can visit all these websites to read more. File management and Windows Explorer skill, visit these sites to get more information. Downloading software from the web knowledge, including ebooks and so on. These are websites that you can visit that will tell you more about how to do it and the safest way to go about it. Then installing computer software onto your computer. These are sites you can visit that will train you better on how best to go about it. Then WebCity or Blackboard teaching skill, that is used of interactive whiteboard and so on. These are places you can go to. Then facilitation skill is the second type of skill that is required for an online. Then computer-related storage device knowledge skill, where this is talking about diskettes that is no longer in vogue, but no knowledge is lost. Visit this website to read more about them. CDs have replaced diskettes, but I know in some parlance they are still, diskettes is still being used, but not as widely as it used to be. So CDs, yes, use of CDs and DVDs. Your CD-ROM, your DVD-ROM, what are the functionalities, how do they function, and what are the features that they have that may be useful to you for your storage system. More information. Downloading software from the web, knowledge, including ebooks and so on. These are websites that you can visit that will tell you more about how to do it and the safest way to go about it. World Wide Web, that's www navigation, scanner knowledge, PDA knowledge, deep web knowledge, educational copyright knowledge. Yeah, this is important. Educational copyright knowledge, whatever it is, most of the things you read here is related to the USA, Europe, America, Europe, and the other part of the world. You also need to research into the copyright law here in Nigeria. Yeah, most of the things we use on the internet are not from Nigeria here. So you need to understand the copyright law in Nigeria and also the copyright law in other parts of the world. And the last one, computer security knowledge about antivirus and so on. You read more by visiting most of these websites. Then installing computer software onto your computer. These are sites you can visit that will train you better on how best to go about it. Questions for interactive session. The instruction is not different from that of module 1. You read through all the questions that we are going to provide you and prepare your answer in your own words. Do not copy from the resource material, please. Then prepare your answer in MS Word format and attach it to your post titled Module 2 assignment. And go to the website where the online training session forum is and attach your answers as a reply to your post. These are the questions. So you go through them, make sure you answer them very well, and send them as attachment to your post on the forum. Wow, thank you for listening. This is the end of Module 2.